Rye reminds me of Rudyard Kipling's poem. Them that ask no questions isn't told a lie. Watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by. 25 ponies trotting through the dark. Brandy for the parson, baccy for the clerk. Laces for a lady, letters for a spy. Watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by. The Mermaid used to be a rendezvous for smugglers. It survived as an inn for nearly 600 years. And I discovered that some of its rooms are named after the town's past mayors. One of those is Jo Kirkham. Did you have a mayoress?
Yes, I did have a mayoress. My daughter, who's 13, was my mayoress.
Oh, great. What a great thrill for her.
Yes, it was, for 3 years.
Yes?
By the time she did O-levels, she'd been mayoress and done 3 years at it.
You're very keen on local history, too,
yes,
aren't you?
I am. Very interested in that.
Tell us something about Rye itself, then.
Well, it's a lovely old place, the oldest hill town, I think, that's complete, as it was in the old medieval times, that we've got in England.
And this street was very important, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the centre of Rye. The ships tied up at the bottom and all the goods were brought up the cobbles and distributed about the town.
Of course, the attics are important, aren't they? Because they were interconnected.
That's right. That was the way the smugglers used to escape from the excisemen. They all interconnected house to house, and they could disappear and escape.
The sea was just at the bottom of the street.
Just at the bottom of the street, yes, that's right.
You sing with the Rye Singers, that's right?
That's right.
Is it true that you're going to sing a Chinese carol at this time of year?
Yes, it is. Well, the connection is that it's about Virgin Mary and baby Jesus, and of course our church is St Mary the Virgin.
Once full of smugglers and pirates, Rye is now full of artists and craftsmen. Many writers have found inspiration here. One man here reminds us that we are no better today than the people of ancient Rye. John Ryan created Captain Pugwash for the Eagle comic in 1950.
Already I feel as one of the great explorers, dauntless and dogged.
Captain, there's an American, an hurricane ahead. Dirty great black clouds.
Thundering porpoises, Master Mate. What matter if it... Help! Yes, well, maybe I don't feel quite so, dauntless and dogged as... whoops!
John, do you think there's something in the character of Captain Pugwash that is in all of us?
Well, I'm afraid, yes.
Like what?
Well, two things in him. One, he's very, very greedy, and we're all a bit greedy sometimes.
I'm afraid so.
The other thing is he's a terrible coward,
That's true.
and we're all a little bit frightened sometimes. And it's these two things fighting against each other, which I believe is present in all human behaviour, which makes him what he is.
You've been in Rye not all that long, but how about Captain Pugwash?
When we came to Rye, my wife's family had been here for a long time. When we came and settled here, it suddenly seemed to me that it was a very natural place for him to be. I've written a book which is all about Captain Pugwash in Rye. Since I put him in a real sort of setting, he really does seem to exist here.
He's come alive.
He's come alive. I can see him sort of hiding behind the tombstones and churchyard.
What about your other work?
Well, I work almost entirely for children, except that for 26 years now, I think, I've drawn a cartoon every week for the Catholic Herald, which has been quite fun. I mean, I've just done one about all these ridiculous, enormous salaries that people have, and all these chaps gloating over the fact that they've got, you know, £750,000 a week, or whatever it is, and the caption is, what is the profit of man if you gain the whole world and suffer the loss of the next general election? I mean, that is the sort of thing which I think is worth saying. They're not very respectful. You see,
Irreverent.
when I started doing this, the church was beginning to turn all sorts of absurd somersaults, and it was a marvellous time to be a cartoonist.
This is the Roman Catholic Church of St. Anthony of Padua, built in 1929 by a Maltese priest, Father Bonaventure. I've chosen this peaceful setting for our final hymn, the words of the 23rd Psalm to the tune of Criband, which reminds us of God's faithfulness and of his provision for all our needs.